Hey everybody, Chad here. In this video, we're going to talk about trust and confidence is the key to the law of attraction. So, welcome to another episode of Law of Attraction Secrets. I kind of did it backwards this time, but I don't know why. But anyway, if you like this video, subscribe down below. Other than that, we're going to get rocking and rolling. I am in Thailand. Just got my hair cut today. Looks a little bit better. Don't look crazy. Drinking some Thai tea. It's a big one. Woo! But anyway, let me take a sip, then we get rocking and rolling. Okay, trust and confidence is the key. Now, there are a lot of little nuggets that go along with the law of attraction, that go along with how do you manifest what you want. Sometimes it's not just one thing. I mean, it's getting good at little things that they work in unison together. Makes sense? Now, if you've ever read Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, I know it's a great book. I've read that book probably at least 100 times. I mean, there was one time I took a whole year and all I read was that book over and over and over and over and over again. I read it every day, so I'd probably read it 2-3 times a month, and I did that for a whole year. And one of the things that I started noticing with Napoleon Hill in Think and Grow Rich was in almost every single chapter, he stated in different ways, but he stated that it's not about the 13 principles for success. It's not about picking and choosing what principle you want to work for you. All the principles that he talks about in Think and Grow Rich work in unison together. So it's about mastery of all the principles together. It's not about picking and choosing. Okay, it's about mastery, about self-mastery, thought mastery. So, and I found that unique because when I started reading it over and over and over and over and over again, I started finding in every single chapter, somewhere in the chapter, he would state somehow, in some way, he would state that it's about mastering all the principles. It's not about picking and choosing which one you want to do. Okay, which one you might think you're better at. It's about self-mastery of all the principles together. And if I'm not mistaken, Think and Grow Rich goes into 13 principles for success. So it's about mastering all the principles. So that being said, when you think about trust and confidence and you think about the law of attraction, there's little things that go along with it, but it's about mastering all the principles that go along. It's not about just being good at one and you're not good at others, or you pick and choose what you want to do. Okay, it's about self-mastery. It's about mastering all the principles, being good at all of them, because they all work in unison together. If you take one out, well, it's kind of like a bicycle. I'm gonna sneeze right now, so you're gonna see my face go, but anyway, I can feel it building. I'm gonna sneeze. But anyway, if you take a bicycle and you look at a chain on a bike, you have all the individual links to a chain. Well, what would happen if we removed one link? Well, the chain wouldn't work. Make sense? So no matter if that bicycle chain has 250 links to it, if we remove one link, well, the bicycle's not going to work. Makes sense? It's not going to go anywhere. The chain's going to fall off. Okay, it's kind of like the same thing with law of attraction. That once you remove one thing, it's going to be a little bit more harder, or it's going to take longer to manifest what you want because they all work in unison together. Now, I don't know why I went off on that tangent because most of these videos are not scripted. I just have the idea what the video is going to be about, and I go from there. So I felt led to kind of share that. That was on my mind. So that being said, let's go back to trust and confidence now. And let's kind of build up where trust and confidence comes into play. When we first start going to the law of attraction, the first thing you need to do is know what you want. Okay, focus on one thing. Don't focus on 20 things. Okay, focus on one thing at a time. Bring all your attention to that one thing that you want. Okay, make a committed decision. That's what you want. Okay, so there's a few things right in here we can go off on a tangent and talk about. One is bringing all your attention. 2, it's making a committed decision of what you want. And 3, it's actually knowing what you want. Now, what I mean by a committed decision is you don't change your mind. Once you know what you want, well, you're going to do anything, you're going to hang in there until you get what you want. That's a committed decision. You don't change your mind, okay? Now, that's the start off the law of attraction. The next phase is you kind of move into the subconscious mind, you move into imagination. You have to think till the end. So now that's when we bring up routines like your bedtime and morning routine. Well, that's the best time when you start going to sleep at night. You imagine what you want, but you imagine the end result, meaning that you imagine you already achieved what you want. You already have what you want, and you imagine yourself in that state. How does it feel to be in that state? What are you doing? Get emotionally involved in your imagination like a child, like a kid, like you were 5 years old again, okay? That's how we have to develop our imagination, okay? Whew, okay. Now, at that point, even at that point with imagination, there's a lot of little things in there. It's the more you do it, the better you get. You want to have your imagination. You want to think in result. You want to create an emotion, a feeling inside your imagination. Okay. You want to think in the end like you already have it. Okay. Then from there, it shifts into what we're going to talk about now. It shifts into trust and confidence. Okay. So now it almost had a brain fart. But now what we want to do is after imagination, when we have such trust and confidence that we're going to achieve what we're going to achieve. Because at this point in imagination, basically what's happening, we're turning the unseen into the scene. We're turning the unreality into reality, and we trust and have confidence that whatever we put our mind to, whatever we focus our attention to, whatever we want, we will achieve. Okay, that's trust and confidence. That's why I kind of put confidence in there, because I think trust and confidence go hand in hand. Okay, now when we talk about trust, trusting is really being able to understand that God is within us, the power is within us, the spirit is within us, the universe, the laws of the universe, the energy of the universe is within us, the power is within us. Okay, no matter what your belief is, the power is already within us. Okay, the power is within our imagination. The power is within whatever we imagine and focus our attention to. Over time, we'll manifest. We'll get what we want. Okay. Now, with trust, we're really putting ourselves in a state that we truly trust the process. We truly trust if God is within me, if heaven is within me. Okay, God the Father, the universe, whatever you want to say, is on my side, and the God in the universe is going to put things in order for me to get. It's not my job. If you truly trust, it's not my job to figure out the how. Okay, it's not my job to do that. Okay, it's not my job to overthink and overanalyze. Okay, but once you start overthinking, overanalyzing, what it really means is, but I do this. Okay, this is what I know. This is the personality of Chad. So when we start overthinking, overanalyzing, we're trying to control the how in some way or the other. We're trying to manipulate it in our own way rather than giving up the how. Fully trust the process. You fully trust that God, the power within, has a better way. If you truly trust, okay, if we try to control, okay, what happens when we try to control? We're trying to control one way. But the universe and God, there could be multiple ways, and it's gonna happen the best way possible to come to you. But once we try to control it, we kind of screw up that process. That process might take longer because we're in there trying to do our own thing. Okay. Now with trust, the perfect example with trust is like remembering back when you were a kid and you were young enough, maybe 5, whatever the age is, before we grew out of it, before we went to school and our teachers basically beat us into it, that that we're too old to have an imagination. Okay? Now, remember back being a kid at a certain age, when you wanted something, you wanted a bicycle, whatever you wanted, you ran up to your parents and asked for it. And they say, yes, yes, sweetie, or yes, that we're going to get this for you. Don't worry. Or maybe they said, yes, maybe on your birthday, or yes, maybe for Christmas, or yes, something like that. Okay? Then you just fully, as a kid at that specific age, you just fully trust it. And you just run back, maybe you tell your friends, hey, my dad, my mom, or whatever is going to get this for me. But you fully trust it's going to happen, and you just move on, and you start playing with your friends, playing imagination, you already have it. But you just truly trust. That's really the stage as an adult we have to bring it back into our life when we think about law of attraction. We truly just have to trust that once we set our intention, once we start our imagination, once we think in the end, then it moves into trust. You just trust that it's going to happen. You just trust 100%, 110% that the power within, God within, heaven within is working on it, and it's going to manifest in its own time. Okay, what that time frame is, we don't know. Okay, but we truly trust it's going to happen. So the reason why I kind of put in trust and confidence, because I think they go hand in hand, because if we struggle with trust, we really struggle with confidence and self-confidence. I think that's why I kind of say they go hand in hand. If we have a little bit of trust issues, we don't fully trust. I think it also stems up to being confident and having self-confidence, meaning that whatever I want to do, whatever I put my attention to, I'm going to get. It's almost a saying, I can be, do, and have anything I want. That's not arrogance, but that's coming from a confident state. Okay? You have to come from a confident state that once you really develop the trust and the confidence, that's when you're going to start noticing that you can kind of let it be. You give up the how. You let it manifest, whichever angle it's going to come in, you let it be, and you let it just come in wherever. Okay, when you truly trust and you truly have confidence in how this is going to work. Okay, so that being said, kind of going back to the beginning and saying how all these little steps, it's not about being good at one step. You have to master all of them because they all work in unison together. And sometimes things, depending upon what we want, sometimes things are going to test us a little bit. Sometimes, we might know what we want, bring our attention to it, start doing our imagination, start going through all the processes. But sometimes your intuition might be telling you, be patient. So that might be a test within inside what you want that is teaching you patience. It's teaching you to be patient about it. You're going to achieve what you want if you hang in there and don't quit. You stay in until the end. Okay, but it might be teaching you patience. Okay, it might wait until you just fully let go of it. You fully just let it be. You fully let go of the how. And sometimes it will happen like that, where once you just fully let go of the how, once you just fully let go and you just let it be and you let it manifest whatever angle it comes in at, sometimes right when you just fully let it go, it comes to you. Then you start thinking like, shit, I should have just let it go a long time ago. You know what I mean? But the biggest thing is you have to hang in there. You have to hang in to the end. That's why Neville Goddard says, I listen a lot to him, is that the biggest thing he says a lot anyway, but he says you have to be committed until the end, meaning you don't give up. Okay, once you state that you want something, once you bring your attention to it, once you go through this whole process, you stay committed to the end. Because when you stay committed to the end, you will learn that this mysterious power really exists. And you will learn, and once you stay committed to the end and it manifests in your life, that's going to shoot up your trust and your confidence. Then when you go back and you apply it to something else, you're going to be a little bit more confident. You're going to be a little bit more trust. Makes sense? And it's going to be a little bit more easier for you to do it because you just fully trust the process. So, but that being said, hopefully that helped. There's a lot of little things in here, a lot of little things we got to master. And right now, it's getting, right now, even for myself, you're going to get better. You're going to get better each and every day. Okay. And you have to hang in there, listen to your intuition, but don't give up. Once you set your attention to it, once you start this process, stay committed to the end. Stay committed to the end, my friends. Don't give up. Don't throw in a towel. Because once we have that feeling, I can only talk about myself. If I have the feeling of giving up, it really means that I'm controlling the how too much. I'm thinking and overthinking, which leads into worry, doubt, and fear, and I'm trying to control the how. That's when I feel like giving up because I'm not mastering my thought process. You like my hand movements? Makes sense? It's really about thought control. We have to control our thoughts. Okay. Another thing about giving up, I like to kind of put in here is you have to think about it this way. When you feel like giving up, when you feel that immense pressure to just throw in a towel, usually what that means as a positive, it means you're so close to your goal. That means your goal is right around the corner. That's why it's testing you. It's testing that, can you hang in there a few more days? Can you hang in there one more week? Make sense? But you always hear the saying is, the saying I love is, that was told to me years and years and years ago, is, Chad, most people give up too soon. Most people give up literally right before they would have achieved what they wanted. They usually give up where they took 2 more steps, they would have achieved what they wanted. They usually give up 2 days later, they would have achieved what they wanted. Make sense? You have to put yourself in that state. You can't go off of emotion. You have to control your emotions, control your state, and not give in. Okay? But other than that, my friends, hopefully this helped, and I'll see you in the next video.